Good evening, I'm Peter Overton. Welcome to this special edition of 60 Minutes. America is a nation in mourning, a nation planning revenge, preparing for war. Tonight, the aftermath, the latest from New York's ground zero, the retaliation and the manhunt. Who did it and why?
Your White House is the most vulnerable target. It's very simple to just get it.
Revealing the threat America ignored.
It's not difficult.
A threat from deep inside the prime suspect's terrorist camp.
It certainly is chilling.
And emerging from the ashes.
It was like a scene out of Apocalypse Now or a scene out of hell.
Please don't come to us.
A city of lost souls.
She was on the 100th floor of Tower 2. And here is her picture.
Also tonight, the other story dominating the news in Australia, the Ansett crash. 16,000 workers dumped, the travel industry in chaos.
They have known for the best part of a year that Ansett was a basket case. What did you know?
Tonight, the Prime Minister faces the fallout.
We weren't asked to bail it out. Despite that fact, we are still the only party that's put any money on the table to help the employees.
That's later. But now let's go to New York and Tara Brown. Tara, I don't think any of us here in Australia can really come to grips with what it must be like there.
Peter, like most of the journalists here, we're having trouble finding words to adequately describe it. And the most appropriate words come from those who live here. A child watching the sight of men and women jumping to their deaths from the World Trade Center said to his mother, "Do you think there will be people catching them?" And one rescue worker said to me that he's angry, but it's the sort of anger he knows will be cured by war against those who did this. It's not just that there's nothing there now, it's a profound absence framed by the smoke and dust still choking the air above New York. It's as if the city's heart has been broken.
Every New Yorker will know somebody in there. A brother, an aunt, an uncle, a father, someone. And that's the thing, because it's just widespread devastation.
Rescue workers are lifting stone off stone by hand in the all but lost hope of finding someone left alive. You get the feeling that those working so tirelessly believe that taking just one more name off a casualty list numbering thousands will strike a blow for decency.
You always have heart. You always pray that you will find somebody alive. That's your biggest dream. Just one person. God, I'll just find one person.
Had this tragedy been an act of God, it would have been heartbreaking. That it was an act of man is terrifying.
And we pulled so far 7 bodies, and I helped them to pull the bodies. That's a terrible thing to see.
New York was to many the centre of civilization. Now it's the centre of what President Bush has called the first war of the 21st century. Innocent people were its first casualties, but now everyone in this city, this country, and most of the world feel cast as its soldiers. And everyone is a target. That, at least, is what Australian Adam Hopp believes, a landscape architect. He worked high in the North Tower of the World Trade Center.
I thought of a bomb straight away. When the building moved like it did, I'm on the 73rd floor, and you're up on this monstrous building, and it moves that much, and there's this thump, and then another thump, and I honestly thought the ceiling above me was coming down. And Oklahoma bombing definitely flashed in my mind was how that building collapsed. One floor goes on top of another, and holy hell, I got to get out of here. Jump into the stairwell, thinking, hey, my legs are going for me now and they're not going to stop, and I stopped because the stairwells were full of people swarming into the stairwells. Everyone was brilliant though in that no one pushed, and it was extremely orderly for a terrible feeling that something doom is all around us.
If you're thinking the building is going to collapse floor after floor on top of you, how do you contain that panic?
You really do have to tell yourself that this is really an awful thing without knowing exactly what it was, but just keep it together, you're with a lot of other people, and there's a lot of people worse off than you in that they're elderly, or I think they're more frail. There was a lot of people crying. There was, some incredibly overweight people having a difficult time getting down the stairs. At times people were dry reaching. We had a lot of smoke, and it was either smoke and or dust in the stairwell. So, how do you keep it together? You just do, I guess.
Were you always convinced you'd make it out alive?
I don't know why I have this silly pieces of little bits of knowledge, but I know that fire ladders in the city only can go to 13 floors, 130 feet. So I was counting the floors down, thinking, well, there's another floor. Okay, I get to a window. I'll be out a ladder. I can jump onto a ladder, no problem. So I was really just counting the floors. Another floor closer. We were moving nearly at a snail's pace going down the stairs. You know it's bad, but you think, no, it couldn't be. It just couldn't be. And that's, I think, part of the tragedy of people on the street when they came down, that thousands of spectators and thousands of people who were going to work and in their businesses were out on the street, less than a block away on the other side of the street, basically, watching, gawking and looking at these two towering infernos. Literally, I got out. When I got out of the building, I'd seen some terrible things coming from the building via the plaza. What do you mean? Well, we didn't know, but the second plane had crashed, and all that debris, I've since seen it on video. The plaza between the two buildings was just full of carnage, wreckage. I thought I recognised parts of aeroplanes, just the fuselage twisted and blackened, building debris, and big red blackened lumps of had to be people. Just I'm sure I saw two torsos. The windows on the downstairs concourse that looks onto the plaza they're 30 feet tall, possibly 40. I think they're 3 stories, 30 feet floor to ceiling glass. These windows were broken. There was blood splattered on the windows, and it was big red streaks. What sticks in my mind was in the stairwell, when we got down about the 30th floor or something, firemen have started to come up the stairs, and these guys just like soldiers, troopers. I couldn't believe how stoic and I thought heroic they were, just to go up to climbing the stairs to go and fight the fire, which I only thought they would deal with, but what a terrible job. And they're all gone. They just would have been wiped out. It's terrible.
Hello, I'm Tara Brown. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.